Just needed that. It's been a couple of weeks. Since I've done anything on the Morris at all, and it's always nice to get back in the car and start the thing. So hey, we know it still works. A couple of things I want to try and do today is I'm thinking that if I'm going to sort these wires out, get the fuel pump at least hooked up. I actually brought home, I found that I had a spare multimeter at work. Not a cheap one, but it's enough that we can do some proper wiring checks, and we can get at least get the fuel pump wired up, see if this one that's on the car at the moment runs, and then maybe see if it runs on the fuel that's in the tank. It does smell a bit varnishy, but I think it's got pretty much a whole tank. And yeah, other than that, it's really going to be finishing off the wiring, trying to get the lights wired up. Probably wipers. I did have a look at the brakes because I still have a hole in my floor where the brake master cylinder is supposed to go. And I'd look underneath the floor and there are no brake lines there, which is not necessarily a great thing at the moment. Because yeah, once it's actually running, I'm going to want to drive it, and it's no good with no brakes. So let's get the book out, get the Haynes manual out, and we'll see if we can get this fuel pump running. If not, so I've just read the manual. Apparently this little white wire here is the feed for the fuel pump, and there was apparently a black ground. I figured it would, so it's got to be that one there, so I'm going to have to put a end on that. Like so, that's clearly where the positive goes to the fuel pump, because that was the old one that was cut off, so don't need that. I'm interested to know where it is grounded out, to be honest. Oh, that was great. My multimeter had decided to break already. So we'll just have to go back to our little battery tester. I'll just loop that through there. At the moment we can see we have 0 powers, 0 volts. Alright, it'll be helpful to have the keys in the ignition before you turn the ignition on. Let's try it. Swap hands. Right, that is the ignition on. And look at that, we've got some voltage. Okay, so without wanting to electrocute myself, that is on there, and there's nothing. Okay, I need to figure out where that was, where the ground goes then. I've cleaned up that terminal and the fuel pump still doesn't run. I'm kind of thinking probably a good time just to chuck a new fuel pump on it anyway. So let's see if we can find one of the, oh look at that, right on top, one of the new fuel pumps. So we've got the white wire on there. I've put a nice little ring terminal on here, that's all screwed in. So that should go back on there. There we go. Spare there just to nip that back up because we don't want that to leak. And my guess is that this fuel pump is actually more like a reconditioned one. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can see in the camera. The hose is already split right underneath it. So it'll be right for now. This will do the job just in case it does decide to work. So the next thing I suppose is put the ignition back on and see if we get clicking. Nope, nothing at all. Alright, day 2 of trying to get the fuel pump running on the Morris Minor. It might be a bit dark in here, I don't know how bad the light's going to be. It's because outside it is raining. Look at that. The roof is on the midget. That never happens. Okay, so I've just put a new pump in. This is the screw for the ground is a little bit the wrong size, but I hold that on there to ground it out. It's bolted on as well. Still nothing. This is a different pump. I find it hard to believe that 2 pumps have failed. That said, it's not impossible. So I think the next thing to do, I need my torch for this because it's dark in the car. We consult the Book of Morris Mine Knowledge. So I found this, which actually looks like the worst fuel pump in my entire box, which probably means it's going to work absolutely fine. It looks identical to the one that's on there at the moment. Still has the little screw in it for the earth. So I'm just going to whip that screw out, pull that broken wire off. I looked in the book, and apparently this is run off the same fuse as the coil. So the coil works because the engine, we know the coil works, the engine runs, we know it's got power. It's just got to be a Duff fuel pump. So let's try the worst looking of all of them and see what happens. There we go, the worst looking fuel pump of all of them. And go back in the car, back in the dark. Do we get a fuel pump? No, we don't. This is totally deja vu, because it's exactly the same problems we had with getting the engine running, and I don't like it at all. Okay, so I've done some research on these fuel pumps and learnt something. If I take a little nut off, take that off there, these work on points, a bit like the points on the car. And try and get this right, they are under there. And if I lift these points up, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but they look really manky. So I'm actually hoping all I've got to do is clean those points up and these might work. So you're only going to undo this screw just a couple of turns, and this little fork slides out. And if you look on there, you can see they are pretty manky, and so are they. So that could well be why it had power and didn't run. And these are all the same. I don't know how long these have been in storage. So I'm going to clean these up, put them back together, chuck them back on the car, and hopefully I'll have some pumping fuel pump. Okay, that is all in. I've cleaned up the points in the top. That's all wired up. So let's see whether we've got a clicking fuel pump. Bounce up there, so I'm going to key in. Yes! I really hope you can hear that. That's my fuel pump. Right, should have a nice little helping of easy start just to get things going. So we'll have a little, a block choke. Key in the ignition, and you can hear the pump. Oh. How's the brake cleaner? Yeah, she doesn't want to run on fuel that's in the tank. That's a damn shame. The thing is, nothing seems to be leaking from here, and the fuel pump still runs, so it's one more thing to tick off the list. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one, and like the video, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.